Hello. It never fails to surprise me how strong our minds really are. Do you notice how when we raise our voice, we somehow lose ourselves? Recently, my friends and I were hanging out together when suddenly one of us said, quietly, almost to themselves, "My anger is unbecoming of me." That honestly caught me off guard because it almost came out of nowhere. Sure, we do joke around a lot, but that caught my attention. How does anger change us, and what does it do for us? I wanted to look further, so I did some studying. And with what I found, I can now see that anger is not what it seems. When we say we're angry, it's normal to imagine it comes in the form of yelling or physical violence. But after researching, I now know that anger doesn't always look like that. Sure, there's the ones you might expect, like yelling, but anger can also come in the form of passive aggressiveness, in coldness, even in subtle manipulative behavior. Learning to recognize its many forms matters because it creates a boundary that'll help us keep track of when we're angry. When we notice it, we can manage it better. Ultimately, this awareness can help guide us towards who we want to be and how we want to show up in the world. One thing I learned from researching is that anger is more than just an emotion. In actuality, it's more like a function. Anger is an unhealthy but unfortunately common way we express how we feel. And more often than not, anger builds in the face of a threat. That threat might be something external, like someone crossing the line, or internal, like shame or embarrassment. And as you can see, we often get angry for reasons we haven't even recognized yet. One paper even suggested that when we lash out, it might be to scare others to get them to do what we want. But anger doesn't have to come with aggression. By being more mindful, we don't have to rely on fear or force to get through to others. I decided to look into this not only because of what one of my friends said, but I experienced it myself today. Nothing really went my way today, and I found myself getting angry. Not just at myself, but also at the world and the people around me. But because I wanted to understand my anger further, I decided to read more about it. And when I did, I was able to turn things around. I'm now using that anger as motivation to do the things that I love, to learn, to read, and to share it with the people around me. By channeling our anger into movement and growth, we can create something beautiful. It's like what Brianna Weiss writes in The Mountain Is You. Anger is separate from aggression. Anger is an internal drive to create change. When we understand what we're feeling and why, we can use that drive to create the change that we need. So instead of getting angry, try this instead. Look at why you're angry. Ask yourself objectively, what happened? Does your anger truly warrant aggression? Once you understand this, you can make a conscious decision on how to better align your energy to what really matters, your own growth. It's easy to be mad at the world, but what we often forget is how to make the most of it. There's a metaphor here that I believe is appropriate. Fire, left unchecked, consumes everything. But when controlled, it can warm homes, fuel engines, and even forge steel. Through mindfulness and intentional thinking, we can direct our anger to do the same. Our emotions don't control us. Instead, we can learn to shape them and create something meaningful. And with that, I hope you take care until we see each other again. Goodbye.